Bath Nuts Farmhouse. My name is Jordan, and today we're going to be making a Lilac in Bloom soap. So in this container I have my base oils that have been weighed out, melted, and brought back down to room temperature, and a little bit of colloidal oatmeal. In this container I have my fresh goat's milk straight from my farm, sodium hydroxide, which you have to have if you're making cold processed soap, and a little bit of sodium lactate. So we're going to pour the lye solution into the oils and get it all mixed up. So I've brought my batter to just past emulsification. It's not even quite at a thin trace yet. I want to keep everything as fluid as possible, because the fragrance oil that we have has been known to rice a little bit and to speed up trace. So first we're going to add our colorant. I'll be adding purple vibrance mica from Nurture Soap, and I'll also be adding a little bit of titanium dioxide just to lighten it up a little bit. So I'm going to take my stick blender and I'm going to trap that mica underneath it so it doesn't all poof when I start mixing it up. Burp my stick blender and then start mixing it up in short bursts. So I can see that I have some mica stuck to the sides, so I'm just going to give it a scrape down with my spatula, stir it in by hand. We don't want to overmix our batter. So the fragrance oil I'll be using today is called Lilac in Bloom from Arizona Soap Supply. So I'm going to pour this in, and then I'm going to mix it by hand, and if it needs a little stick blending because it riced a little bit, then we'll get the stick blender back out. So I've zoomed you in a little bit to see if you can see some of the ricing. It has riced a little bit. There's a little clump right there. Some fragrances do that in your soap, but that can be resolved by getting out your stick blender and giving it a couple bursts. Alright, we got all that ricing taken care of, but as you can see my batter's getting pretty thick, so let me grab my mold and get this in there. I absolutely love the smell of lilacs, and I really wish that I could grow them here. Unfortunately, it's just too hot. Just kind of taking the soap and bouncing it and kind of squishing it down to the corner since it is so thick. Make sure to get it even across the whole batch. Now I'm just going to scrape out my container and get the rest of this in the mold. Whew, that got thick on me, so I had to take some extra time smacking it down to get all the air bubbles out, and I ended up waking up my littlest one, so my big girls went in her room to play with her, so you might hear them playing in the background. So because the soap is so simple, we're going to do a little bit more of a design on the top. So first, I just have a plastic fork. I'm just going to start from one side, take it over to about the middle. I'm going to do this all the way down. So in this container I just have some velvet pearl mica that I've mixed with some olive oil. I'm just going to leave couple drops here and there down the soap. I'm also going to leave a few here and there to kind of get in those grooves. Might take my fork back through and smear them up a bit. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. Okay, and for this side, I just have a spoon. I'm just going to kind of mush it around a bit. It's kind of thick already. I imagine this soap won't take too long to unmold and cut up. So now for the center, I have a little bit of sea salt that I have colored with that purple vibrance mica. It'll be a little bit darker than our soap is because I added that titanium dioxide to it. So I'm just going to sprinkle that down the middle. It's okay if a stray one gets there every once in a while. It's kind of hard to feel everything with these gloves on. They're a little big for my hands. Most gloves are a little big for my hands. My ring size is only 3.5, so it's very difficult to find gloves that fit well. Okay, and since this is set up so hard already, I'm just going to take my gloved hand. I'm going to kind of smush the salt down a little bit to make sure the soap grabs a hold of it. It's okay if a little bit falls off while we're cutting, but we don't want it all to fall off. Okay. Take that glove off. Give it a spritz with the rubbing alcohol. And I'll bring you in for a close-up. And this is what the Lilac and Bloom soap is looking like up close. You can see a little bit of shimmer from that velvet pearl mica. Little purple contrast from our colored sea salts. A little bit of texture interest from the fork and the spoon textures that we did. So I'll see you back in about 24 hours to cut this up. It's the next day and we're about to cut this soap. This soap, I was really surprised at how quickly this soap set up yesterday. And you see we did get some air bubbles from our batter rising and then thickening up, but that comes with the territory with floral fragrances. So I'm just going to turn this on its side with the salts facing me to reduce the drag marks. I don't normally work with floral fragrances because I'm not a floral person, but I really do enjoy a nice lilac scent. My mom grew up in Michigan and they have lilac bushes all over the place up there. So here it is. Nothing extra special, just a nice purple on the inside. But up here we have a little bit of the white shimmer from the velvet pearl mica, and we have our salts as well. You might hear my little one in the background. She's not feeling too well today, but I assure you she is being taken care of. I'm not leaving her in there by herself. Not too many air pockets, which is nice. I just want to say how much I appreciate all y'all who subscribe and watch our videos. I know there are a ton of great soap makers out on YouTube, and I'm just really humbled by y'all watching and subscribing to our new little channel. I'm so very grateful for each and every one of you. And I really appreciate you spending time watching my videos, especially when I know my filmmaking skills aren't really up to par yet. And hopefully next time I see you, we'll have some little baby goats running around. So I'll see you next time, and thanks for watching.